we usually have a prayer. We usually have a conduit between us mere mortals and those who are going to make sure the weather is nice today. I'm not that person, so we're going to give that bit a miss. However, I'd like to introduce you to the first person of the borough. She's going to come up here on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please welcome Her Worship, the wonderful Mayor, Councillor Jenny Headlam-Wells. Thank you so much.
Hey, woo!
Councillor.
Hello? Oh, nice and clear. I'll turn that. Perfect. Well, hello everyone. I'm Councillor Jenny Headlam-Wells and I'm the Mayor of Camden for 2018 to 19. And my brief is to talk about Camden's tribute to Dr Harold Moody. Camden has a long tradition of welcoming new citizens from all over the world. We are proud of our diversity and our radical tradition. We say, we are all faiths and none. And Camden's guiding principle, which is written around the top of our civic centre, is not for oneself, but for all. It's fitting then that 88 years ago, Dr Harold Moody founded the League of Coloured People in this very setting at the central YMCA on the 13th of March 1931. And the League of Coloured Peoples was the UK's first civil rights movement in the 20th century. Now I understand that this is the 43rd Nubian plaque to be installed, and I'm particularly pleased that the Dr Harold Moody plaque is the 6th one to be installed in Camden. Now this follows in the great tradition of the previous plaques to Mary Prince, Bob Marley, Sidney Bechet, George Padmore and Leary Constantine. I can see people nodding and smiling. So on behalf of the Borough of Camden, I'm very pleased to be here today. I look forward to the unveiling, and I also look forward to hearing the tributes to Dr Harold Moody that will follow. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as you can see, in this age of Brexit, I have done a wonderful job getting 2 mayors to convene in one borough. Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, can we please give it up for the wonderful Deputy Mayor, the wonderful Councillor Louise Hyams. Thank you.
Well, good morning everybody. Well, I think it's like good afternoon now actually. Good afternoon. And I'm very grateful to be here. We are officially in Camden. So as Deputy Mayor of Westminster, it's a great honour to be here in all my regalia, which is very unusual to be invited to do that in another borough. But Jack, first of all I want to thank you for all the hard work you put into organising today. And also I must mention how smart you are. I know you spent a lot of time over the years ensuring that plaques such as these give people the recognition that they deserve. And actually, the Mayor of Camden's already mentioned, I understand the first plaque was dedicated to Bob Marley, perhaps a slightly different figure from Dr Harold Moody. Both plaques celebrate the successes, achievements and legacies of true icons of our communities. And as we've heard, this is the 43rd Nubian Jack Community Trust plaque, and the 6th in this area. But as you've already heard, Dr Harold Moody was at the forefront of social change in Britain, long before a series of legal changes were made to tackle racism and discrimination. Dr Moody formed the League of Coloured People here in 1931. He helped kickstart the change in attitude we saw spread across communities, and his efforts are ones we should all be proud of. Dr Moody acted as a direct result of the discrimination he experienced firsthand. He was refused work despite being a brilliant medical student, and the level of racism he faced in 1930s Britain would be truly shocking to us today. By forming the League, Harold began an entire movement and became a true pioneer. Decades before the civil rights movement began in America with Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Moody began the same struggle here in Camden and Westminster. And that is quite a legacy and stands up favourably alongside other work in the field. However, we are all aware that more work needs to be done. Dr. Moody's inspirational spirit, work and perseverance give me great hope that more positive anti-racism work will succeed, because it has to. I look forward, I come to this part of town, although it's in Camden, quite often, and I'm going to look forward to seeing this plaque every time I pass this area and be reminded of the excellent work and dedication exhibited by Dr. Harold Moody. It's a real part of our history in this city, and I'm delighted to be able to be here representing Westminster City Council today. So thank you everybody who's helped in getting this all together, including those here at the YMCA. I haven't been inside before, and I'm so impressed with what I'm seeing in this wonderful facility we've got right here, right in the heart of London. And I also know that there are Black History Walks, and they sponsored the plaque. So, as I say, I look forward to seeing the plaque unveiled very soon. Where is it? Oh, right, it's already. So, and thanks again for inviting me here to represent Westminster.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an international tribute now from the Jamaican High Commission before we have our sponsor, and that is, of course, Miss Tracy Blackwood. Miss Tracy, thank you so much.
Councillor Jenny Headland-Wells, Mayor of Camden, Councillor Louise Hams, Deputy Lord Mayor of Westminster.
Closer to the mic. We can't hear you. No.
Sorry about that. I was just recognizing the mayors that are in our presence, and I see Mr. Bill Flanagan here, and all of you ladies and gentlemen. I bring you warm greetings from High Commissioner of Jamaica, His Excellency Seth George Ramakan, who has asked me to convey special greetings and commendations to Dr. Beulah for this excellent initiative, as well as the family of civil rights leader, visionary, and outstanding son of Jamaica, the late Dr. Harold Moody, in whose honor we are gathered today. We can be inspired by the life and work of this great Jamaican. I know I'm truly inspired. I'm just learning about him, and I'm really encouraged. Who traveled to the United Kingdom to study medicine in 1904 at King's College. Although he faced discrimination, he was resilient and was not daunted by the challenges. He was, through hard work, able not only to do well, but to graduate as a doctor at the top of his class, with many awards. Dr. Moody was an intelligent physician who took the time to care in the face of racial injustices. While he himself was not allowed to work in a hospital, through determination, he went on to establish his own medical practice, which became very successful. Dr. Moody was also a strong advocate for human rights, which led to his decision to establish the League of Colored Peoples on the 13th of March, 1931, some 88 years ago, right here at the YMCA Tottenham Court Road. This League of Colored Peoples was historic, as it marked the beginning, as has been said earlier, of the civil rights movement in Britain. Its main aims included the promotion and protection of the social, educational, economic, and political interests and welfare of its members, as well as improve overall race relations. Dr. Moody was a caring, devout Christian whose beliefs led him to help the oppressed in the society in which he was a part. He heard the cries of the disadvantaged, and as an educated man, gave of himself in the struggle against oppression and injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, we can look back with pride at the commitment and accomplishments of Dr. Moody, whose League of Colored Peoples served to highlight injustice and chart a better way forward for many. We are no doubt inspired by his life and work, and hope that many others, inclusive of our young people, will be able to recognize that the progress which has been made today is as a result of the great work and zeal of persons such as Dr. Harold Moody, Jamaican par excellence. Thank you so much.
Absolutely fantastic. That was an international tribute, ladies and gentlemen. Can I say, the worship premiers are looking lovely, aren't they? They look really lovely. I used to be a rapper, and I used to have chains very similar to that. Ladies and gentlemen, this would not have been possible without our sponsor, the wonderful, legendary Tony Warner from Black History Walks. Give it up for Tony, thank you.
Alright, testing, can you all hear me? Very brief. I used to live here back in the 80s when I was a young man, so first of all, shout out to YMCA for giving me a place to stay when I was kind of struggling, because it was a cheap place to stay back in the 80s, yeah? When I was living here, there was a plaque to Harold Moody inside as he entered, and I was just impressed by the fact that this black man, Jamaican guy, was living here in the 30s and had his own civil rights group right here in England. Luther King came to prominence in America in 1955. He fought in America for equality in education, housing, employment, etc. Harold Moody did the same thing right here in this street in 1931, long before Luther King did this thing in America. So it's interesting to think that Luther King is actually on the curriculum, but Harold Moody is not on the curriculum. But at least now we have a recognition of his fantastic contribution, because when Harold Moody sets up the League of Colored People here, he was not alone. In that group, people like Jomo Kenyatta, the first black leader of Kenya, he was actually in the group as well. People like Paul Robeson, the international superstar, Paul Robeson was also here as well. People like Larry Constantine, the world famous cricketer, was also here. So this place in this street was full of young black people who were all active to kind of fight for equality. So next time you walk down this street and you see this sign here, just remember Harold Moody, legendary civil rights activist right here in Britain in the 1930s, long before Luther King, and it all came up because people got together and put their money in their pockets, took their money out of their pockets.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
One of the things that Harold Moody did and helped to do was to desegregate the armed services, and also he was involved in the evacuation of refugees, children in World War II. The next tribute is a military tribute from a World War II veteran himself. He's a wonderful man, a Jamaican son of Jamaica, now an MBE, member of the British Empire. He's very proud of that, oddly enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, irrepressible Neil Flanagan.
Today has been a great day. It started off beautiful. The weather is kind to us, and here we are. Honorable dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. Prior to World War II, the people of Britain were led to believe that black people did not live in this country, although Britain ruled the empire and had a great big empire and a Commonwealth. People that lived close to the ports of the London docks, Liverpool and Bristol were aware of the seamen who worked the ships that came to those ports and grew accustomed to the presence of black people. The lives of the seamen were ghastly together with the pressed men who manned the vessels, who also had a harsh life traveling around the world, bringing goods to Britain. The fortitude of Harold Moody, venturing into England, must have been a tremendous episode in his life to access King's College with determination to study medicine and excelled in his chosen career and achieved high qualifications at the time under harrowing conditions. After qualifying, he often gave his service freely to the less privileged that suffered illness and had no money. The Britain of those days were much more of a land of the elite and the illiterates. Even to me, who came to Britain here in 1944 during World War II, was quite conscious of the deprivation being in the military forces, the hardship of life to those who live in the community. We all know that NHS was created after the World War II, when the lives of non-Europeans was horrific. Dr Moody was truly a pioneer of his time, lobbying the government of its sales to the British people and much more to the non-European citizens referred to as, at that time, coloured people. As a devout Christian, Moody was active in the Christian faith with his constant lobbying. He had the zeal and courage to fight for civil rights and formed the League of Coloured People who battled to change the status quo of the day. And here I must thank you all for listening and will listen to the stories of my fellow brothers. I thank you.
Okay, we've only got 2 more speakers after the next speaker. The next speaker was an endorsement that this thing was a very spiritual occasion. Last night, kid you not, 2 o'clock in the morning, I was on the phone in Auckland, to Auckland in New Zealand, trying to get a family member to attend. And clearly I didn't think it was possible. My missus said, you know, I'm wasting my time. And this morning I had the most remarkable email, and of course I started crying. I did, of course I did. No jokes, I really did. So that person's here, descendant of Harold Moody. His name is David Ball. Thank you, David. Stage is yours.
Hi everybody. Hi. I only found out about this literally half an hour ago. I am incredibly humbled and incredibly proud to represent the Moody family. My mum, Pamela Moody, was daughter of Ludlow. Ludlow Moody was Harold's brother. Ludlow also studied medicine at King's and became a great doctor in Jamaica. He was the doctor to Norman Manley. But talking of Harold, yeah, he really was so far ahead of his time, and to found this league, you know, as has been said, so early, so far ahead of everybody else, was just amazing. And I'm truly humbled to represent the Moody family here today, and thank you all for coming, and thank you, Dr. Jack, for the plaque, and thank you, Mayor and Mayoresses, for being here. So let's have a great day.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, beautiful. Okay, just 2 more people to thank. Thanks again, David. Thank you so much. Can we get a shot, by the way, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, absolutely. That's it. Please do. Wonderful.
Okay, like I said, only 2 more speakers before we have the $1 million shot with the 2 mayors unveiling the plaque. But before we do that, there's a few people I really do have to thank. I've got a couple of trustees here. The wonderful Josephine Beaton, who's our treasurer, in charge of all the money. I can't buy PG tips without her sanctioning it, so thank you for being here, Josephine. And the legendary, round of applause, come on there. And the one and only Dr. Margaret Busby, who needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Let Oxford Street here, come on. Dr. Margaret, thank you. I love you so much. Okay, the equivalent to what the League of Coloured Peoples was the Anti-Racist Alliance, which was formed by this wonderful, interesting, eccentric gentleman. Some of you might know, wonderful chap. The name, Mark Wadsworth, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, and I think we should pay tribute, first of all, to Dr. Jack Booler for all the tremendous work he's done in getting these blue plaques put up around London not waiting for English heritage to do it.
That's right. That's
We
right.
do it for ourselves.
That's right.
It's not just about their history or his history, it's about our history. And Tony Warner, with his Black History Walks, has done a tremendous job in popularising our history. And I first became aware of Harold Moody when I lived in Peckham. And on the Queen's Road, there was a blue plaque to someone called Harold Moody. And so I started reading up on him as someone who also went to King's College to do a master's in history. You see, we're being sabotaged by the other side. It's okay, we keep on struggling. And it's a wonderful story. People, old people, elderly people, senior citizens still remember him in Peckham. They talked about him as the Black Doctor. They said of all the doctors, the Black Doctor was the best doctor. This was pre-NHS. In fact, just a few doors along the road was the first NHS clinic. So there's a little bit of history in SE15. But my father was in the Second World War. He came over with Neil Flanagan from Jamaica as a teenager and served in the Royal Air Force. Unfortunately, he died in 1989. He went back to Jamaica in 1946, came back on the Windrush in 1948. And so as we remember giants like Dr. Harold Moody, let's remember those pioneers who put themselves in harm's way, prepared to die for this country, and look how they were treated when they were out of uniform, once they were demobilized in 1946 and came back here to help rebuild Britain after the devastation of the Second World War. Look at the treatment of the Windrush generation and that scandal that is a stain on the political record of Theresa May, who was the Home Secretary at the time and presided over the hostile environment. Her government is crumbling. I hope we'll see better days with my friend Jeremy Corbyn as Prime Minister.
My friend.
He spent time in Jamaica, you know, doing voluntary service. He considers himself someone who is sympathetic to our cause. I hope we can go forward. I founded the Anti-Racist Alliance exactly 60 years after the League of Coloured Peoples was founded in 1931. That was because of the rise in racism in Britain, with the murders of Roland Adams, Rohit Dougal, and then Stephen Lawrence, that you will know about. And I helped his family, Doreen and Neville, build a campaign for justice and meet with Nelson Mandela. And so that became a success. But we still have a couple of murderers out there that haven't been done for Stephen's murder. And we will not rest until we see them behind bars. And the final point I would make is this. We are suffering a crisis in the black community, with our young people killing each other. My son was the victim. Fortunately, he survived. He was stabbed in Peckham. We have got to sort this out among ourselves as parents, as relatives. This is our issue. We can't just dump it on the Met Police. You cannot arrest your way out of youth and youth violence. We've got to take ownership of it. We've got to know where our children are, who their friends are, what they're carrying to school, what they do after school. And so as a parent, I make this plea. We have a battle on our hands, but we will win. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Mark. I had a feeling the revolution was going to start then. Anyway, we have a poet. Just before we do the $1 million shot, ladies and gentlemen, I want to listen to this.
He does all the blue.
The wonderful universal poet, ladies and gentlemen, Harold Darrow.
Yeah. You got my WhatsApp group.
Listen to this.
Hello, Raoul.
Good afternoon, family. Greetings to all those who attended today.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to be here myself. As Jack stated, I'm titled Universal Poet. My background is in community and youth work, over 40 years, so I have an understanding and an affinity with the struggle. In keeping with today's proceedings, I give you this. It's called A Tribute to Dr. Harold Moody. Hear this. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, 8th of October 1882, Dr. Harold Moody I present to you, the eldest child of a retail chemist who came to London in 1904 and encountered a great deal of prejudice, causing difficulty in securing work and accommodation, heightening his understanding of the pervading colour bar implications. In 1913, he started his own medical practice in South London, Peckham, a prudent decision given his stark situation. He went on to form in Britain what was coined the first black civil rights activist movement, a response to the amount of escalating cases, hardship, inhumane plight from discrimination and ill intent. On the 13th of March 1931, where his journey began, at the Central YMCA in Great Russell Street, London, as the President of the League of Coloured Peoples with an executive team at hand, incorporating members of the Gold Coast and Caribbean. It had clear aims in support of their fight for universal race equality and human rights, improving relations between the races to promote and protect the social, educational, economic and political interests on a worldwide basis, cooperating, affiliating with organisations sympathetic to the key objectives and a desire to protect it. The League also sought to address the persecution of Jews in Germany before World War II, publishing its own journal expressing its fundamental point of view. Called The Keys, a powerful medium to discuss what was at stake, such as colour bar in Britain, injustice in the workplace, treatment of black nurses and what they had to face, the evacuation of African, Caribbean and Asian children during World War II, discrimination, desegregating sections of the British Armed Forces was commonplace in full view. Dr Moody, a devout Christian and philanthropist, worked for the Civil Defence too, campaigning against racial prejudice, what the armed forces continue to do. By 1943, the League had reached its peak as a pressure group, although successful in its methods, despite disapproval from wider radical groups. Sadly, the League of Coloured Peoples folded 4 years after his death, on the 24th of April 1947, taking the civil rights movement nowadays to a different level. Today, 13th of March 2019, we gather to acknowledge his legacy, 88 years on as Britain's first civil rights movement of the 20th century. With a commemorative blue plaque to celebrate our venerable brother, Dr. Harold Moody, who we will forevermore appreciate, a tribute to Dr. Harold Moody. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Raoul. Captured everything, the whole sentiment of the day, the whole historical narrative. I think that's beautiful. Rebecca was supposed to lead these wonderful meals over, which she's doing, and Mr. Murray is going to tell them what curtain and what to pull. So this is an example of pulling in the right direction. So we're going to do this as a community. We're going to do a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to unveil the plaque, and then we're going to go and have a cup of tea and some red wine. So, distinguished folks, after 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dr. Harold Moody! Amazing. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you so much. This wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you to YMCA. Thank you for everybody turning up today. It's absolutely been wonderfully beautiful. And thank you to the distinguished councillors, both your worship and the deputy mayor. So thank you. Okay, you can take some photographs now. We're going to take some photographs, and then we're going to go in and have some refreshments. And again, thank you so much.